If you're a regular listener to the Smart Property Investment Show, then odds are you're already a property fanatic who loves hearing stories on investing from real people. The good, the bad and the ugly. Be with people just like you and join the group Passionate Property Investors on Facebook now. Become part of a community who know what to do and when to do it. And the time to do it is now. Passionate Property Investors. Tribe, tools and tips. Find us on Facebook today.
Welcome to the Smart Property Investment Show with your host, Phil Tarrant.
Okay, how you going? Welcome to the show, and I hope you're spending some time thinking about property over this summer/Christmas period. There's lots going on right now, and I've been watching traffic on the website actually, and things are going through the roof. I think after what was the federal election and all the uncertainty around what might happen with negative gearing and all that sort of hullabaloo and negativity, markets have really sparked up into gear, and we're doing a lot of coverage around it on smartpropertyinvestment.com.au, but obviously it's really popular. I think there's more investors coming back in the market. You know, it's a little bit easier to get finance, still pretty tough, but there's some pretty low interest rates. So it's a good time to be a property investor if you're buying the right stuff. And that's what we like to cover on the Smart Property Investment Show. We love our investor stories, and we're going to get right into it today with Amy Hamblin. She's coming to the studio. We're going to have a chat about her journey investing in property and how she sees it. Well, Amy, how are you going? You well?
Good, thanks, Phil. Thanks for having me.
So you're not from Sydney?
No, I did live here once for 18 months, about 15 years ago.
So where's home for you?
East Ballina.
East Ballina.
Northern New South Wales.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice part of the world.
Very nice part of the world.
So is East Ballina, is that near the airport? Is that East Ballina?
Yeah, 5 minutes from Ballina Airport.
All right.
About an hour from Gold Coast Airport.
That's cool. So how'd you end up in East Ballina?
I grew up in Lennox Head, actually.
Okay.
So 10 minutes up the road. Yep.
God's country.
Yeah, God's
Good
country.
surf.
Very good Lennox Point, yeah.
Yeah. Surf? Grew up surfing?
Not really.
Not really?
A little bit if the weather's nice. Not much.
So you ended back up in Ballina after...
Yeah, you never think you're going to end up back where you grew up. But yeah, did some travelling, lived away, studied and thought, yep, that's a nice place to raise a family. So yeah, we'll move back there.
That's pretty cool. What sort of work do you do?
I'm a sonographer.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sonographer?
Used to be a radiographer.
Okay.
Victor's old, who comes on sometimes, his old job.
Yeah, Victor Kumar.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that for years. So what's the difference between a sonographer and a radiographer?
So a radiographer does X-ray, CT.
Yeah.
A sonographer does ultrasound.
Okay.
Yeah. So I take ultrasound images.
Of babies and stuff?
Oh, it's a small part of what we do, but yeah, as well. Yeah.
Is that in Ballina District Hospital? Ballina Base Hospital?
It's private practice actually, but I do work at the local hospital doing radiography still as well. Bit of on-call and work there as well.
That's pretty cool. And you're also a property investor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like to think
that's
so.
Why you're here.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Why do you invest in property?
Financial freedom, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
More time with our family.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's pretty cool. So it's like a long-term
Definitely long-term play, yeah. Yeah.
Who got you into property investment?
No one really.
No.
My parents weren't really into it. We lived in Kalgoorlie for a year out in WA. There wasn't much to do there, so I read a few property books and magazines and got into it then, I think.
Okay. And still at it? Are you a successful property investor? We're
on our journey, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's still in its early stages. Still in the accumulation phase, yeah. So we're at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, we'll get into some of just so our listeners know to start with, how big is your portfolio right now?
So we're just onto the fourth one at the moment.
Okay. So we'll break that down in a moment. We'll go through all the different stuff you're doing. So you invest in property. So you're in Kalgoorlie and there's nothing to do in Kalgoorlie. So you thought you'd start reading property investment books and magazines. And
That's right.
Before the day of probably podcasts.
Yeah, no
really
podcasts
popular.
that I can remember at all. Yeah, it was just magazines when they came out at the local newsagent and books really. Yeah.
It's very different how people get info now. So you are listening to podcasts?
Yeah, I do.
To this show?
Regularly, yes.
Yeah. What irritates you most about this particular program, the Smart Property Investment Show?
Oh,
so is there anything I do that you just go, it doesn't know what he's talking about?
No, I don't think so. No, it's all pretty good.
So how do you because a lot of people, I get asked this question a bit, but how do you, like this sort of whole process of education, and one of them is podcasts and one is like website, smart property investment, all that sort of stuff. When do you listen to podcasts? What are you normally doing when you're listening to a podcast?
Just at home, really. I don't turn the telly on much anymore. We sort of read books and listen to podcasts. The good thing is about living up at Ballina is a 5-minute drive to the beach, to the shops, to work, so I don't get any long commutes to listen to podcasts up there. So
you just switch it on and...
Switch it on the iPhone with the headphones, yeah.
Pretty cool.
I've got a 1-year-old son, so when he goes to bed.
That's really cool. And how much of education is a part of your property journey?
Oh, it's something I'm pretty interested in. So so just from time to time, books, podcasts, things like that.
Whatever you can?
Whenever I can, yeah.
Good stuff. So you grew up in Lennox Head, which is near, what's about 20 minutes from Byron Bay. So that part of the world, which is really nice. Where'd you go to uni? 'Cause I imagine you got to go to university to become a
Newcastle,
stenographer.
actually.
Okay,
To do
Newcastle
my
Uni.
radiography. Yeah, so I lived down there for 3 years. Love Newcastle too. That's where my wife's family is, in Newcastle.
So it's a big medical sort of school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Newcastle creates heaps of doctors, but also related medical professionals.
Yeah, big health uni. Yeah.
Were you happy that you chose that as a career?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I basically wanted to travel more at the time, so I picked a degree in health that I could, work overseas if I wanted to, travel around. Haven't done that in my job at all yet, but it's turned out to be a really great career, health, especially when you want to start a family. You can work part-time. I think that's amazing that you don't have to go back to work full-time. I work 2 days a week and I love it. It's great.
2 days a week? That's pretty cool.
Been on maternity leave last year and then 2 days a week now. So
Well, it gives you plenty of time to be a property investor then, right?
That's right, yeah. A lot of free time to look into that.
Well, I want to break down your portfolio, but before we do that, just go to a quick break. Back in a moment.
Creating financial freedom is every investor's dream. Best-selling author and director of Pure Property Investment, Paul Glossop, is giving you that chance. To grab a copy of his new book, A Surfer's Guide to Property Investing, absolutely free, simply jump onto Pure Property Investment's Facebook page, hit the message button and type the words Smart Property to secure your free copy today. But hurry, this offer is limited to the first 100 people.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Smart Property Investment Show. I'm here with Amy Hamblin. We're talking about her investor story. Girl from Lennox Head now calls East Ballina home. Started investing in property when you were how old? So I shouldn't age you, but I get that.
That's all right.
No, I get that. It's really fun in this podcast because it's a couple of things you should never talk to people about, and particularly women. Don't ask them their age. Don't ask how much money they make. Don't talk about money. Right?
No, that's
so
all right.
This is completely the opposite.
Happy to talk about it.
So when did you start investing in property?
2011, we bought our principal place of residence up there in East Ballina.
Okay, and so that's the first property you ever bought?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that just an emotional purchase?
We lived in Kalgoorlie for a year to save a deposit. So we saved our deposit there, moved home. And it's a funny story, actually. It wasn't online or anything, the property we bought. My dad hooked us up with some house sitting gigs because we were living at home and we were actually house sitting at the end of the street. Drove past one day, saw the sign out the front, spoke to the real estate agent, put a few offers in and got that place. And it was too messy to advertise online, so they hadn't taken any photos yet. So we sort of got it before anyone else sort of had a look at it.
How much you paid for it?
$380.
$380, and what is it?
So I had 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, brick and tile house.
Okay.
We actually exchanged on $381. We thought we were really smart to negotiate $1,000 off after the building and pest because the water system looked a bit dodgy, and then we turned the power on and it worked. So we got another 7 years out of that one.
There you go. Well, this is smart buying, right? That's cool. So that's your principal place of residence?
We still live there now. We're actually going to move shortly into another place we're building and rent this place out. But
okay. So that's part of the strategy. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So you bought that with your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Partner at the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
we were actually, I was casual and she was a uni student, so we got away with the borrowing then. Not sure how.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what does she do now? For a job?
My wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an ICU nurse.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So you're both in the health game.
Both in health, yes.
So with different shifts and different this, that, and
Yes.
the other, and
Yes.
all that sort of stuff.
Shift work. Yep.
Okay. Cool. So principal place of residence. Then what happened after that? So that was when
2011.
Okay. And then when did you buy your first investment property?
We actually bought a block of land in 2015
Okay.
in Lennox Head.
Lennox Head. Okay.
So we sort of did nothing for a few years while we both finished off our studies and did some more education on property investing.
Did you pay your HEX off?
Yeah, we both paid that off now.
Okay.
Yeah, just didn't pay extra off, just chipped away at it as it came out.
So they just took it out of your salary all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both really lucky. Our undergrad degrees, we had HEX, but Sam got a master's paid for through work, and I got a bit of mine paid for through my work as well, my grad diploma. So, yeah, we're very lucky. Only had our undergrads on HEX.
Yeah, very good. It gets expensive. So you bought a block of land in Lennox Head. Where in Lennox is it?
Oh, it's a big new development called Epic, which is up on the hill in Lennox Head. So it's not really any land left downtown.
It's a nice place. It's got views and stuff, or you sort of
there's views in some parts of the development. Yeah, not so much this block we bought. No.
Okay, so that's 2015. So 4 or so years ago. What did you do with the block of land?
So we bought the block for $230,000.
Yeah.
And we built a house with an attached granny flat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So I was looking into sort of how to maximise the cash flow there, and New South Wales legislation, we could do an attached granny flat compliant development, so we didn't have to pay council contribution fees on that one.
That's cool.
So we sort of got the benefits of Sydney's rental shortage up there. And
so this is like just a little
brick
like a
and tile.
1-bedroom thing built within the.
Yeah, like a 3x2x2 on one side and a 2x1x1 on the other side attached.
Okay.
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, it's really, that's been our best one so far.
How much did it cost you to build the actual property, the building?
So all in with landscaping and driveways and everything, we're all in for $350. Oh, no, sorry, 350 was the build.
Oh, 350
sorry,
was good.
So all in for 5.
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay, yeah. So like 570 or so, right? And that's you'd be getting a pretty good yield off that, right?
Yeah, so the house rents were 550 and the granny flat's 400 a week. So
you get 550 and 400 a week.
Yeah, so it's good rents up there.
So you get like $1,000, you know.
Yeah, that's been our best one so far, and we've had the growth there as well.
So what would that property be worth now, do you think?
It's hard to know because there's that type of stock, there's not a lot around. When we got it valued on completion, it was 810. But I'd conservatively say maybe 900 now.
Okay, and you're in for like 570, 580. So you're doing well out of that.
Yeah, we made one mistake in that one.
What was that?
Well, we used the equity in our own home, or our offset account, to pay for the deposit on the land, which we shouldn't have done. But we're learning as we go. And you sort of read stuff and listen to stuff on podcasts and you think, oh, I'll do that. But then when you put things into practice, you don't always get it right.
What would have you done differently though?
Release the equity out of our own home.
Okay.
Use that and then...
Okay, so you would have kept the offset money and then drew the equity out.
Yeah, so we used up our our buffers on our own finances and
That's
our cash flows. So
at least you're reflective enough to go, we could have done that better.
Yeah, I think big picture we haven't made any property mistakes. It's more little financial mistakes like finance structuring side of things on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get it right all the time and it's a benefit experience, right?
Yeah, we've got a good mortgage broker now, so it's all good.
A local mortgage broker?
Yeah, local mortgage broker,
Okay.
Local ones up there, yeah.
Is it someone from the area, born and bred there,
Oh,
or
yeah,
one of these city slickers that come
No,
up there?
born and bred. Someone I did nippers with when I was 8 years old. Yeah. Zep Finance up there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that house and land thing, which you've done well out of, I guess you've timed it well, right?
It was all about timing, Same as Sydney. It's we're a little bit different up there, but sort of similar timings to the growth up there.
Okay, what was the next place?
So we jumped in pretty quick after that in 2017. As soon as we sort of finished, we got it valued. fell pregnant at the time, so we wanted to get in quick and sign the paperwork before I looked pregnant and was going on maternity leave. So we actually used a buyer's agent for the next one and we went up to Queensland.
Okay.
Yeah,
What'd you
Brisbane.
end up buying?
Bought a house up there in Ferny Hills.
Okay.
Which is northwest of the city.
Ferny Hills. And what was it? A house like a 3-bedded
4 by 2 by 2 house up there. Yeah.
How much?
$560 we paid for that one.
$560. Okay. So it's a reasonable price up in Brizzy.
Yeah.
And
nice leafy suburb, close enough to the city.
Yeah.
Because we'd done pretty well with the last one, we sort of wanted a big block that we could potentially put a granny flat on in the future.
Okay.
We're actually in the southern side of the Moreton Bay Shire, so legally we can do granny flat there, not so much in the Brisbane City Council yet.
Yeah.
So we sort of wanted close to the city, but still that option.
And what sort of rent are you getting at the moment?
It's not great, that one, $490.
Okay.
We get on that one, so.
$490. And with a bit of upside potentially, should you want to, How was your experience using a buyer's agent?
Yeah, look, it all went well. It was someone recommended, someone through Pippa.
Okay.
It's worked out well for us, but like everyone else, you're waiting for Brisbane to grow and do something. So kind of like the buyer's agent was good, but we're sort of thinking that's a long-term capital growth play there. We're kind of hasn't really done much since we bought it, I don't think.
Well, it's a bit of diversification as well outside
That's right,
of,
for sure.
Ballina and Lennox.
That's right, small country town. We didn't want to put all eggs in one basket for sure.
Interesting. And then there's one more property then?
Well, most recent one, so we bought another block of land, but this time joint venture with my parents.
Okay. When did you buy the land?
Last year.
Okay, and you're building on it right
Currently,
now?
slab's going down tomorrow.
Okay.
So we're building
whereabouts?
In Lennox Head as well, Ocean Ridge, so more higher up. We don't actually have ocean views, but a bit more elevated, nice aspect up there.
Okay.
This was sort of all zoned R3, so we could do a duplex on the site, so a big 800 square metre block there. Joint venture mainly because I'm on maternity leave working 2 days a week, so partnering with my parents for the finance.
Do your parents still work then?
They both work,
So that they can still get mortgages and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So how did you raise the deposit for the place in Ferny Hills? Did you draw the equity out of
the equity out of the first investment straight away. Yeah. So
you got it valued at 810. Did you refinance that Lennox Head sort of granny flat / house up to 80 or did
up
you?
To 80, So we up to 80, then we used our deposit there and then got the new 80% loan.
So you would have pulled a fair bit of money then out of
because we paid that 23 odd grand out of our offset. We pretty much took the whole 20% deposit up to Brisbane.
And then this block and build that you're doing right now, how did you raise the funds for that?
So at the moment we've sort of done a bit of it. I'm on maternity leave, so we couldn't actually release the equity out of our own home. This is another thing that I've listened to but should have put into practice. Release the equity, keep yourself liquid when you can. So the problem now is we've got all this equity in our principal place of residence, but we couldn't release it because the banks wanted to know why and not give us any more money. So Mum and Dad have sort of done the deposit on the land for us.
Okay.
And then we're going to do the build and then get them valued at the end and then we'll give them their money back then.
That's pretty
And
cool.
we're just going to split them and go 50-50, have one each,
Okay, so you'll keep, separate titles?
Separate titles, yeah.
And so you keep one each and rent?
Keep one each, rent them out. We're actually going to move into one for a few years, we think.
Okay. Is that the one you're going to move into?
Yeah.
So you move into a brand spanking new place
That's the plan.
Where's it? Ocean
Well, it's Lennox.
Ocean
It's just
Ridge?
Lennox Head. Yeah,
Lennox
but
Ridge?
Ocean Ridge. Yep.
Ocean Ridge.
Lennox
And
Head.
then rent out the place you've got in East
Ballina,
East
yeah.
Ballina.
It's an old 90s, 80s home.
Yeah.
Orange kitchen bench top, chipboard falling
You can
off. So I think
picture it.
we've got another baby coming next year, so we thought we'd live somewhere a bit nicer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to actually understand how you're managing all these properties and experience doing that. But before we do, I just want to go to a quick break. Back in a moment.
We get it. You're here listening to the Smart Property Investment Show and you're being interrupted by this ad. We value your ears just as much as your eyeballs, so we'll be quick. Join passionate property investors on Facebook today and we'll fill your Facebook feed with useful tips and tools, plus free education from industry experts and a tribe of people who get it. Passionate property investors. Find us on Facebook now.
Welcome back to the Smart Property Investment Show, everyone. I'm here with Amy Hamblin. We're chatting through her property portfolio. We've just broken down some of the specifics across these 4 properties. One is a principal place of residence where she lives right now, and she's going to transition into one of the new build properties she's doing, and we'll rent that out. And that's a strategy I see people do all the time, and it's a really good strategy for people to keep sort of building out their portfolio over time. You also get some tax breaks on that over time as well, seeing out what's your principal place of residence for a period of time. But that's a question for your accountant. How do you manage all this stuff? Do you do it yourself? Like the Lennox Head one and the one up in Fernie?
We've got
Fernie
property
Hills?
managers,
You
yeah.
do?
Yeah. Don't need that headache. Yeah.
And is that the reason why you do it? You just don't want to have a headache?
Well, it's a small town, definitely for the local one, so you don't want to know the tenants, they're worth their money that you pay them, I think, to sort everything out for you.
How is it? How much of a small town is Lennox Head like? Does everyone know everyone, or is it it's a bit bigger now, right?
I think it's bigger now, yeah. Everyone used to know everyone. It's not like that anymore. A lot of people are moving from the cities up there for lifestyle choices.
Do all the locals lament on how it used to be?
Some move away with, frustration, and others just whinge about it, but most people are fine, I think.
I reckon the irony is that everyone has got a property up there and complaining about city people driving the prices up. Guess what? They get the benefit from it, right?
That's right,
So,
exactly. Yeah, little old fishing village back in the day, so I'm sure a lot of people have done well. So I said to my parents when they first bought their house for $65,000, I said, why didn't you buy 5 of them? But it's all relative at the time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And is there much sort of development happening up that way at the moment?
Yeah, little bit, sort of infill stuff, house and land. Not too much. It's not big greenfields that you see in the outskirts of the city. So it's all sort of, supply gets eaten up pretty quick because everyone wants to move up there. So it's not like a lot of stock on the market.
I guess it's the work that you guys are in is cool because they're trying to attract health professionals up into the regions, because there's a real shortage.
That's right.
It's a real shortage.
I think anyone young who can go work out of the city for a few years and get some experience should do it. It's fantastic. Like the year we had in Kalgoorlie, so good for us.
Yeah.
Not just saving money for our deposit for our house, but
How was
meeting
living
great
in
people.
Kalgoorlie?
It's the middle of
a bit rough
nowhere.
and tumble?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a murder at the end of our street when we were there, and
You get that.
don't go out at night. Yeah.
Yeah, you get some blue-blooded Aussies out that way, don't you?
Yeah.
It's quite
But character building, it was a great experience for us. Best thing we ever did.
And you were just doing your job out there, were you?
Yeah, so I was got my new grad job as a radiographer out there. Yeah. And Sam was working at Repco Auto Parts at the time because she hadn't done her uni degree yet. So these guys would come in asking for a thermostat and she'd bring something out. They're like, that's not a thermostat, go get that. So she learned a lot as well about stuff as well. So, it was good for us.
And so this development you're doing, do you call it development? It's like a duplex.
I don't know,
I guess it is. It's like
development probably makes it sound fancy than it is.
Well, it's just two properties in
just
development.
to build, yeah.
So who's managing that for you? Are you right across it? You're the sort of keeping an eye on the numbers, dealing with builders and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I like to sort of a bit more tech savvy than my parents. So, I manage all the sort of we'd have a little offset account we both put money into, and I sort the rates out. I say, Dad, I paid this, and he might speak to the builder and say I spoke to the builder. So we communicate pretty well, so everyone knows what's going on.
So you chose a site.
Yeah, we picked a site.
Yeah, and you just went, how did you choose what to put on it? Like, is there some local builder who's building a whole development? Or?
Not really. I think just to get the good equity, a lot of people are doing either house and granny flat or duplexes up there because you can.
Yeah.
And then you sort of get your equity straight away and you're not having this big debt and getting it valued at what you spent. You're sort of getting that 100 or 150 grand uplift, and then it gives you a bit more buffers and potentially invest again off of that. And
did you choose a local builder? Did you say, here's some plans, go to a builder, can you build this? Or it's a sort of like an off-the-shelf type?
Off the shelf. I mean, with our first, we're going with a different company this time than we did for the first time, just a bit of different. I mean, it all went fine the first time, but just, thought we'd try someone new. And my dad's actually gone into real estate 5 years ago. He's a real estate agent now.
Okay.
And their business actually was selling all the land Yeah.
So did you get a good price then?
No, not really. We just kind of, they auctioned off half of these blocks and didn't get a good price at all, just got the standard price. But it was one of the blocks that were left after the auction that no one wanted. And we said, oh, yeah, we'll take it.
Okay, that's cool. And so the slab goes down tomorrow?
Yeah.
And then when will you get the keys for the new development?
Not sure. Thinking towards mid next year.
Okay.
The problem is we have a baby coming in March and we're hoping to get it over the line before then. So I think we'll be moving with a newborn.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Lots of people do it.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, that's all right.
And once all that's said and done and you move in and you turned your place in East Ballina into another investment property, so you've got a principal place of residence and 3 properties, is that it for you guys? You're happy to stop?
I think the plan is we want to turn our current principal place of residence, potentially knock it down and put a duplex up if we can, and then live in one and sell the other one.
So you prefer to live in East Balmain?
East Ballina. Well, Mum and Dad are in Lennox and I don't know. We like East Ballina, yeah. It's flat, close to the beach. We can, not be on top of my parents.
Yeah, it gets that way a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that'll be another. So you like this sort of land, or this will be a knockdown rebuild type thing?
Potentially, if we're allowed to. At the moment, we're looking into they're doing the low, medium density new code coming in. So potentially, at the moment, we can't do anything on our block, but potentially we might be able to in the future.
Potentially rezoning and all that sort of stuff.
We're sort of at a stage now. We're having a young family. We're really conscious of the fact we don't want a big non-tax deductible mortgage heading into our future, because the whole point of this, we want the freedom to spend time with our family. Yeah. Both work part-time for a few years and we don't really want to be hammered down with that big mortgage and time away from the family. But we both grew up with parents that worked really hard and worked heaps and weren't always around, so we never missed out, but we just want to do things a little bit different with our kids.
Well, that's one of the things about property. It actually gives you the choice, right? You can, if you want to work part-time and you've got property sort of tipping in a few bucks into your back pocket, that's the freedom that people want out of property. Some people just want property because they want to buy Ferraris and stuff, right? It's horses for courses, and
that's right.
Everyone's sort of wired a bit differently. But, I'd be really keen to hear how you go with all that sort of stuff once this is all done. Maybe send us some pictures.
Yeah, sure. No worries.
Go and have a look. We'll put them up on smartpropertyinvestment.com. But, thanks for coming down and thanks for having a chat with us, Amy. I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Phil.
Nice one. If you've got a story to tell like Amy, and, Amy's well on her way with 4 properties under her belt, and it sounds as though there's more to come, but whether you've got 1 property, 4 properties, or you've got 50 properties, come on in and share your story. We love these investor catch-ups to actually understand how people are going, and they're the most popular part of the Smart Property Investment Show. If you want to do that, you can contact the team and we'll tee it up. It's pretty easy, isn't it, Amy? No worries.
No worries.
No worries. Good. Just email editor@smartpropertyinvestment.com.au and the team will sort all that out. Come in and have a yarn with us. While you're there, just check out all the latest news and marketing intelligence around property investment, smartpropertyinvestment.com.au. We love putting this stuff together, the podcast and the website. So it gives us great satisfaction that we're actually contributing to your journey as a better and smarter property investor. We'll be back again next time. Until then, bye-bye.
The information featured in this podcast is general in nature and does not take into consideration your financial situation or individual needs and should not be relied upon. Before making any investment, insurance, tax, property or financial planning decision, you should consult a licensed professional who can advise whether your decision is appropriate for you. Guests appearing on this podcast may have a commercial relationship with the companies mentioned.
At Passionate Property Investors, we hear from a lot of infinite learners who love to know more and share more about their property knowledge and investment journey. If this sounds like you and you want to get more education where your eyeballs are, then join us on Facebook at Passionate Property Investors. Videos, ebooks, and learning pathways to get your property cup filled up. Not to mention free education with a tribe who gets it. Join today by searching Passionate Property Investors on Facebook.